Hey there! Thanks so much for coming to my channel. I'm Andrea and I love the Pilates Method of Exercise. If you've not been here before, welcome. My channel is all about using the Pilates method, the original exercises, to dig deep into them to get the best benefit for ourselves, whether we're teachers or just enthusiasts for the method. Thanks so much. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today I have a follow-up video. I recently had a Chatty Rant video. Today there's a Chatty Rant video as well, and ironically I had one that was about how to not talk so much when you're teaching your students. And this is a bit of a follow-up because I didn't talk enough about how not to talk. I'm going to further clarify that, and it's actually a request from a YouTube subscriber, Mary Beth Mahoney. Thank you so much for this question, Mary Beth. Mary Beth wanted to know that if you're trying to not talk so much, how do you do that if you have a first-time student where they don't know anything, so you really have to, perhaps the thinking is that you have to talk more because the student is new. And I'm here to tell you that A, that's a great question, and B, that this is a golden opportunity because you have hopefully a blank slate sort of person, and you can be very, very economical with your words because for their first lesson, you have just a few goals in mind for them. You want them to be safe so that they won't do anything that they're in danger. So that might be one thing you have to talk about is safety issues. And you want them to be doing the exercise, the actual exercise. So the choreography should be in place. And you want them to move. So the fact that you want moving involved is going to make it so you can't interrupt too much. So that's really what you're looking for in the first lesson. You want them to be safe, you want them to move, and you want them to be doing the actual thing you're telling them to do. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about if you can harken back to what it felt like when you were a first-time Pilates student. I know that when I was in my first mat class, now granted I didn't have a whole reformer to deal with at first, but I remember thinking, oh my gosh, they are so specific about what they want, what I'm supposed to be using to do what they're trying to tell me, that it was a lot of information in my mind. And even still to this day, when I have a class or a lesson where there's a lot of talking and I'm trying to focus, I can feel kind of like the fullness of my mind, let's say. And you want to encourage autonomy in your student. You want them to be thinking. And sometimes if you clutter their brain with too much to listen to, it's hard for them to check in to what's going on, which is what you want them to do. You want them to use their smarts and their mind to control their movement. So let's think about the person who is first time on the reformer. The reformer, the first time you're on it, is going to feel, and maybe even everything in Pilates, is going to feel really foreign. And not to worry, by lesson number 2, they'll already be more comfortable because they kind of know what to expect. But that first time, they're already in the midst of this land that they don't understand with springs and, you over them. And so it's a lot to take in. There's a lot of stimulation. And so if you could just be tell them one thing and then pause and wait to see if it happens. And I always find too, you want to set that tone right away that they should keep track of what they're doing. So let's say you've given them footwork to do. Instead of counting out loud or talking about every moment that what they're doing, going out and going back in, you might just say, they're in the position, and then you're going to go, this is what you're going to do, and you're going to do it 10 times. And then zip it. So that you're going to find out a lot of information by just seeing what they do with that command. Do that 10 times. You'll learn A, if they count, B, if they are focused, if their mind wanders. And they'll have time to think about the actual action that you are wanting them to do. And then, if that goes successfully, you've got 4 positions of footwork, right? So they did 1. Now you're going to put them in the second position, and you're going to do the same thing. So that you're going to spend your time watching and seeing and planning and thinking, and they are going to spend their time figuring out how to move their body and not bang the carriage around. And so see how that goes. This is going to be chattier and chattier. I can just feel it as I'm telling you to not talk at all. So I wrote a blog post about this called the Pilates language, and I will link it below. And I will also link the first Chatty Rant about how not to chat so much, also in the description box below. And my other thing that I like to strive to do, you know, in Pilates we have a whole language, right? We use things like elongate and connection and reach and, you know, alignment. You know, we have a lot of fancy words that sometimes are not actionable. So I like to use words that are very pedestrian that everyone knows how to do. Sit up, turn around, yes, no, stop, move, you know, so everyone knows how to do that. Kneel on the carriage, stand up, turn around. And I've often found that if I'm teaching someone that English is not their first language, or let's say my knowledge of their language, if any, is just very few words, it's almost better, because then you really can't talk too much, and you really see the power of just moving and saying very little. And I also want to say, I am filming this, if you're watching this in the future, I am filming this in the middle of August 2020, so we were still in the coronavirus time. So I realize if you're teaching online, you are robbed of some of your tools to not talk so much, right? You don't have your hands, you can't put them in position. And it is making us use our language, use talking a little bit more. But you're also going to send the message that if you don't talk as much and you watch more, now it's really on the student, right? Because you're not in the room. They have to move and take responsibility to do something. So I do realize that for teaching Pilates in the time of coronavirus, it's not ideal. We don't have everything at our disposal. But hey, we're getting a lot of good learning. We're learning how to be very specific with our words and how to be descriptive. So I feel like that is very valuable as well. I think I've talked a little too much now in this video about how not to talk so much. So please, if you have questions or observations about wanting to add to the conversation, I'm so excited to join you in the comments on this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, do become a subscriber. Click the bell icon and be notified every time I publish a video, which is about twice a week. I'm trying to give you a workout a week and also a tutorial or a chatty rant. And if you like these chatty rants and there are topics in the Pilates world that, you know, just put a bee in your bonnet, or you want clarification on, or you just want to explore for a while, do leave me a suggestion below, because I want to know kind of I don't know what you don't know, and I would love to serve you better in that regard. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you later.